I don't normally have much truck with poetry. I don't see why I don't use prose or just put it to a tune and get a nice song out of it. It seems lazy to just leave it as poetry. But there are a few little poems I've got a soft spot for, so I'm going to read a few of them out on here. And I'm going to start with The Wantley Dragon. It's an old poem which was once used as a pantomime tune to the tune of An English Country Garden, but originally it's a Yorkshire poem of the 17th century, something to do with a land dispute in the area around Rotherham. So without further ado, let's get started with it. Old stories tell how Hercules a dragon slew at Lerna, with 7 heads and 14 eyes to see and well discern her. But he had a club, this dragon, to drub, or he'd never have done it, I'll warrantly. But more and more haul, without out at all, he slew the dragon of Wantley. This dragon had 2 furious wings, each one upon each shoulder, with a sting in his tail as long as a flail, which made him bolder and bolder. He had long claws, and in his jaws 40 teeth of iron, with an hide as tough as any buff, what did him round environ. Have you not heard of the Trojan horse with 70 men in his belly? This dragon was not quite so big, but very near, I tell you. Devoured he poor children 3 who could not with him grapple, and at one sup he ate them up, as one would eat an apple. All sorts of cattle this dragon did eat. Some say he ate up trees, and that the forest sure he would devour up by degrees. For houses and churches were to him geese and turkeys, he ate all and left none behind. But some stones, dear Jack, what he could not crack, which on the hills you'll find, in Yorkshire, near fair Rotherham, the place I know it well, some 2 or 3 miles or thereabouts, I vow I cannot tell. But there is an hedge just on the hill's edge, and Matthew's house hard by it. There and then were this dragon's den, you could not help but spy it. Some say this dragon was a witch, some say he were the devil, for from his nose a smoke arose, and wi' it burning snivel, which he cast off when he did cough into a well near by, which made it look just like a brook running with burning brandy. Hard by a furious knight there dwelt, of whom all towns did ring, for he could wrestle, play at quarterstaff, kick, cuff and huff, call son of a whore, do any kind of thing. By the tail and the mane, with his hands twain, he swung an horse till it were dead, and that which is stranger, he for very anger ate him all up but his head. These children, as I told, being ate, men, women, girls and boys, sighing and sobbing, came to his lodging and made a hideous noise. Oh, save us all, more and more haul, thou peerless knight of these woods. Do but slay this dragon, who won't leave us a raggin', we'll give thee all our goods. Tut, tut, quoth he, no goods I want, but I want in sooth, a maid of 16, that's brisk and keen, with smiles about the roof, hair black as sloe, and skin white as snow, with blushes her cheeks adorning, to anoint me o' night ere I go to fight, and to dress me in the morning. This being done, he did engage to hew the dragon down, but first he went new armour to bespeak at Sheffield town, with spikes all about, not within but without, a steel so sharp and strong, both behind and before, arms, legs, and all o'er, of some 5 or 6 inches long. Had you but seen him in this dress, how fierce he looked and how big, you would have thought him for to be some Egyptian porky-pig. He frighted all, cats, dogs and all, each cow, each horse, and each hog, for fear did flee, for they thought him to be some strange outlandish hedgehog. To see this fight all people then got up on trees and houses, on churches some and chimneys too, but they put on their trousers, to save their hose, and when he rose, to make him strong and mighty, he drank by the tail 6 pots of ale and a quart of aquavitae. It is not strength that always wins, for wit doth strength excel, which made our cunning champion creep down into a well, where he did think this dragon would drink, and so he did in truth, and as he stooped low, our hero cried, "Bow!" and hit him in the mouth. "Oh," quoth the dragon, "pox take thee, come out, thou disturb'st me in my drink." With that he turned and shattered him. Good lack, how he did stink! Beshew my soul, you stink so foul, your dung smells not like balsam. You son of a whore, you stink so sure, sure our diet is unwholesome. Our cunning knight, on the other side, crept out unto the brink, and gave the dragon such a douse he knew not what to think. "By cock," quoth he, "see you do, d'ye see?" And then at him he let fly, with hand and with foot, and so they went to, and the word was high boys high. "Your words," quoth the dragon, "I don't understand. Then they went to it withal, like two bullets of fierce, if I may compare great things with small. 2 days and 2 nights this dragon did fight our champion on that ground. Though their strength was so great, their skill was so neat, neither received one wound. At length the hard earth began to shake, the dragon gave him such a knock, which made him to reel, and straight he fought to lift him as high as a rock, and then let him fall, but more and more haul that valiant son of Mars. As he came like a lout, he set him about, and fetched him a kick up the arse. Oh, quoth the dragon, wi' a deep sigh, and turned 6 times together, sobbing and tearing, cursing and swearing, out of his throat with leather. More and more haul, oh thou rascal, would I had met thee never. With that thing at thy foot thou's pricked my arse gut, and I'm quite undone for ever. Murder, murder, the dragon cried, alack, alack, for grief. Had you but missed that place, you could have done me no mischief. Then his head he shaked, trembled and quaked, and then he laid down and sighed. First on one knee, then on back tumbled he, groaned, kicked, shat, and died. Well, obviously a lot of the numbers in this are wrong. The Trojan horse didn't have 70 men in its belly, and the Lernaean hydra didn't have 7 heads, it had 9. And that's one of my problems with poetry. You know, they've gone for the better sound there, even though it's not factually accurate. It's also interesting they refer to fair Rotherham. I don't think many people these days would refer to Rotherham as fair Rotherham, although it's best known now for its Muslim paedophile ring. And it's interesting that he then goes on to ask for a 16-year-old girl to look after him. But, you know, these things happen. And then we've got the dragon, of course, and as is usually the case with dragons, he's got one little weak point, which in this case is being kicked up the arse with a big metal spike. And normally it's more like a soft underbelly or something over the heart or something like that. But, you know, maybe they're always thinking of the arse, and normally in the myths they say he's got a soft underbelly, he's got a soft hole in his armour over the heart, but what they really mean is the arsehole. And also they're speculating in the poem as to whether it's the devil or is a witch or something like that. Well, most of these dragons in mythology are originally humans, like in Volsunga Saga, for example, and the Prose Edda. Fafnir is originally a human who got turned into a dragon because of his absurd love of wealth. And also the dragon in Beowulf is, seemingly at least, the same thing. It's heavily implied that he started off as a human. And that seems to be the traditional origin point for dragons. And that's the end of the Wantley Dragon, and I'll see you next time.